Empathy, a double-edged sword? We celebrate empathy. It is the glue that binds us together. It connects us. It fuels kindness. It drives us to help one another in times of need. But is it always a force for good? Can it sometimes lead us astray? Can something so powerful have a dark side, a side that complicates our decisions and actions? The answer, like nature itself, is complex. Empathy is not black and white. Empathy allows us to understand others. It lets us step into their shoes and see the world through their eyes. We feel their joy, their pain, their triumphs and their sorrows become our own. This shared experience builds bridges, it fosters cooperation, it creates a sense of community and belonging. But what happens when empathy misleads us, when our emotions cloud our judgment? What happens when it's exploited, when others take advantage of our empathetic nature? Imagine a world ruled solely by empathy. A world where every decision is driven by emotion, decisions based only on feelings, not logic, choices made in the heat of the moment, justice swayed by emotional pleas, not evidence, verdicts influenced by tears rather than facts. It's a world vulnerable to bias and manipulation, a world where emotions can be weaponized, a world out of balance, a society teetering on the edge of chaos. This is the dark side of empathy, the side that we often overlook. It's a side we must acknowledge. We must understand it. We must learn to navigate it. Only then can we harness empathy's power for good. Only then can we use it to build a better world. Empathy is not a single entity. It's a spectrum of emotions and responses. We feel effective empathy when we share someone's emotions directly. This is the gut-wrenching sadness we feel when we see a child cry. Cognitive empathy is about understanding someone's perspective. It's putting ourselves in their shoes. This allows us to anticipate their needs and offer support. Both types of empathy are valuable. They enrich our lives and relationships. However, even these positive aspects can have unintended consequences. Effective empathy can be overwhelming. It can lead to burnout. Cognitive empathy can be clouded by our own biases. This can distort our judgment and lead to unfair treatment. Empathy has its favorites. We're naturally drawn to those who are similar to us. We empathize more readily with those we perceive as attractive, familiar, or belonging to our social group. This bias can lead to injustice. We may be more forgiving of someone who looks like us, even if their actions are identical to someone from a different background. This is a dangerous path. It creates division and perpetuates inequality. Imagine a courtroom where justice is determined by empathy alone. The accused with a sympathetic story, regardless of guilt or innocence, would always win. Empathy without objectivity is a recipe for chaos. Section 4. Compassion, fatigue, the price of caring. Caregivers, nurses, social workers. These are the everyday heroes who carry the weight of others' suffering. They are the backbone of our healthcare and social support systems, dedicating their lives to the well-being of others. They dedicate their lives to helping those in need, often putting their own needs aside to ensure the comfort and safety of others. But constant exposure to pain and suffering takes a significant toll on their mental and emotional health. This phenomenon is known as compassion fatigue. It's a state of emotional exhaustion caused by prolonged empathy and continuous exposure to the trauma of others. Symptoms include apathy, irritability, and difficulty feeling joy. These symptoms can severely impact their ability to provide care. Caregivers experiencing compassion fatigue may withdraw from loved ones, feeling disconnected and isolated from those they care about. They may struggle to perform their duties effectively, leading to mistakes and a decrease in the quality of care provided. This highlights the critical need for self-care and the importance of taking time to recharge. To sustain empathy and continue providing high-quality care, we must replenish our own emotional reserves regularly. We must find ways to decompress and recharge, whether through hobbies, vacations, or simply spending time with loved ones. Otherwise, we risk losing ourselves in the suffering of others, ultimately compromising our ability to help those who need us the most. Section 5. Empathy as a weapon, the art of manipulation. Manipulators are masters of empathy. They exploit our compassion for their own gain. They know how to push our emotional buttons, triggering guilt, pity, or sympathy. A skilled manipulator might exaggerate their struggles. They might invent stories of hardship to evoke our empathy. Once we're emotionally invested, we're more likely to overlook red flags. We're more likely to give them the benefit of the doubt, even when they don't deserve it. This is why it's crucial to maintain a healthy skepticism. We should always question motives, especially when someone is asking for something from us. Section 6. Rational compassion, a balanced approach. Empathy is a powerful tool, but it needs a guiding hand reason. When we blend empathy with rational thinking, we create a powerful synergy that can lead to more effective and sustainable outcomes. Rational compassion combines the best of both worlds. It merges the emotional connection we feel with others with the logical analysis needed to make sound decisions. It allows us to connect with others emotionally while maintaining a clear-headed perspective. This balance helps us to be more effective in our interactions and decisions. This means acknowledging our biases. We must be aware of our own prejudices and work to overcome them. It means questioning our assumptions. We need to constantly challenge our own beliefs and be open to new perspectives. It means making decisions based on logic and evidence, not just feelings. By grounding our actions in facts and rational thought, we can achieve better outcomes. Rational compassion is about finding sustainable solutions. It's about creating long-term positive impacts rather than quick fixes. It's about helping others in a way that doesn't deplete our own resources. We must ensure that our efforts are sustainable for both ourselves and those we aim to help. Imagine a world where rational compassion prevails. A world where every action is guided by both empathy and reason. A world where we approach challenges with both our hearts and our minds. This dual approach can lead to more innovative and effective solutions. A world where empathy is a force for good, not a tool for manipulation or a path to burnout. By balancing empathy with reason, we can avoid the pitfalls of emotional exhaustion. This is the future we should strive for. A future where our actions are driven by a balanced approach. A future where empathy and reason work hand in hand to create a more just and compassionate world. Together, we can build a society that values both the heart and the mind.